G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee, and welcome back to another episode of r/am I the Arsehole, where OP's boyfriend continually books holidays over her holidays, doesn't let her go on holidays, and gaslights her continuously. Fun times, great classic hits. Enjoy. Am I the asshole for booking to go away the same weekend as my boyfriend, leaving him to look after our daughter? My boyfriend and I have a 3-year-old daughter together. He used to go away very occasionally by himself before we had her, and this has increased quite a lot since she was born. Not for long periods, just a night or two. He also visits his daughter from a previous relationship, which is fine, but I'm mentioning as relevant later. He is notoriously bad for informing me when he is going away. He always claims he told me and I forgot. There have been times where he's arranged to see his daughter on weekends when plans have already been made. These were all pre-COVID. Once I had arranged for my mum to babysit for our anniversary and for us to go out. Another time I was meant to be attending a baby shower and I needed him to watch our daughter. Another time I had arranged to go to the theatre with a friend. His daughter lives quite far away, so he wouldn't have made it back in time to watch our daughter. He was fully aware of all of these plans and claimed he forgot when arranging to see his daughter. I didn't ask him to cancel as it is not fair on her, so I had to make other arrangements in each case. Obviously, he's been going away less because of restrictions. As soon as they eased, he has been going away. I have never had a night away for our daughter. I had made a couple of plans, but each time a lockdown happened, so obviously they got cancelled. He says he encourages me to go away, and he is not stopping me. I have tried to explain that his going away so much does stop me, as someone needs to look after our child. I'm not comfortable for either of my parents to watch her yet, just in case of any risk. In summer, once restrictions have lifted, I have arranged to see my friends for a couple days. I told him about it, and he said that I couldn't do it on that date because he was going on a cycle holiday. I told him he hasn't told me anything about this, and yet again he claims he did, and I forgot. He asked me to cancel it, saying I could go to my friends anytime. I could rearrange it, but feel I shouldn't have to. He could also rearrange camping. So I've been refusing, and now he is in a sulk. Am I the asshole for not rearranging my plans? Edit, I have got a family calendar when the issues of him double booking arose. Problem is, he will only write in it if I nag him to do so. Or he'll say that he'll do it later, and not to treat him like a child. I want to say that it would be petty, and it could be petty, you doing this, because that is like devil's advocate in this situation, but in all honesty, he's had so many holidays, he continues to have holidays, the one time you go to have your holiday, there is pushback. That just seems really unreasonable. Surely he sees the problem here, yet it inconveniences him to cancel his holiday, therefore he doesn't want to. That's not a supportive partner. Screw that guy. You're not the asshole. Now in the comments, with everything here, it doesn't sound like he is a good partner. His gaslighting you about his plans is not good, and you need to address it. Maybe a shared calendar where he puts the time so at least there is proof, but your bigger issue is that he doesn't respect you. Being a parent and partner is a two-way street, and everything here is flowing one way, not the asshole. He won't even mark the calendar according to OP's edit. Throw the man away, collect child support, and get your own nanny. Then her response should be, if it's not in the calendar, it won't happen. She should fill out all her plans and say too bad, cancel yours. You weren't adulting, and you didn't want me to nag you, so now you have to watch our child while I go and do what was planned for. That's my response to my teenager. We got a shared calendar app when she got a job and car. She learned really quickly that if it isn't on the calendar, it doesn't exist. If a forgetful 16-year-old can sort it out, there is no reason a grown man can't. Not the asshole, but the boyfriend sure sounds like one. Not the asshole, and he is a major gaslighter. Yep, and this time the term gaslighting is being used correctly. About a year ago, I replied to a comment about using the term incorrectly, and so many people jumped on me about how words evolve over time, and how it now just means simply lying a lot in a manipulative way. I just rolled my eyes and ignored it, because no, it doesn't mean that. We already have words for that. Gaslighting is more than just a series of lies and manipulations. It is the content and usage of those lies and manipulations that matter. Yes, I'm happy it's used correctly here too, and no, that's not sarcasm. Just happy we are both happy about correct usage. Not the asshole. He is leaving you to parent by yourself so he can continue having a social life, which leaves you isolated from the people you want to see and stuck at home. He is majorly gaslighting you by lying to you about forgetting dates, etc. These two things alone are huge red flags, but the fact that he goes out so often for such short periods of time would also raise concerns for me. And now onto the update. Not sure if anyone really wanted an update, but the situation came to a head, so I just wanted to vent. Thank you to everyone who commented. So I had a word with him about the family calendar, and people's suggestions about it. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. Making sure my time away was on there. He seemed to go along with it and said he would reschedule his cycle trip. Great, I thought. Until it came to the morning of the trip. My boyfriend often gets up super early, and I roll over and go back to sleep, so thought nothing of it when he was up early. Heard the door go, but just presumed he was taking out the bins or something. When I woke up, I couldn't find him and the car had gone. Tried to phone him, no answer. Some of his stuff had gone. Asked my neighbor to check his garage for my boyfriend's bike, where he keeps it, and it had gone too. Confused and quietly seething at this point, try his phone a couple more times. Nothing. Phone my friend at this point, saying I can't find him and will probably miss my train. About midday, I get a phone call. He had gone on his trip. Tells me to check the calendar. He had Tip-X'd out my writing and written in his trip. I say a few choice words to him. He basically says it's my fault as I should have gotten up earlier. So I told him that he won and he is now free to go on as many cycle trips as he wants. Friend suggested taking the kids to the seaside. Her son is a similar age. We spent the next day at the beach and had a nice time. Told boyfriend not to come back. He says I'm overreacting, but I am done. And another update, he came back on Sunday. Unfortunately can't change the locks due to renting. Came back like nothing had really happened. I calmly asked him to leave as our daughter was about. He said he wasn't going anywhere and he'll watch her next week so I could go away. I said I couldn't believe he has completely missed the point of what he had done. I called my brother and asked him to pick us up. We have been staying there until I can sort out the practical parts of the split. X has called non-stop and turned up at my brother's house when my brother turned him away. He has finally apologized. I said I am still done. I just don't have the energy or the will anymore. Now in the comments, don't you just love it when the trash takes itself out? The only thing you need to do now is to make sure you don't bring the trash back into your house. Good for you and thanks for the update. It's going to be a most beautiful day. I especially love that he told her not to treat him like a child about the calendar, and then he crossed through her plans and snuck out of the house like a child. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Yeah, when she told him he won, I thought that's exactly how he sees this. I bet he wrote in his plans right as he was leaving as a gotcha to OP. Wow, good on you for ending it. What he did was beyond disrespectful. He would rather act like a child than have a conversation. Who thinks, I'll cross their plans out and if I sneak out early enough, they can't do anything about it? He deserves to be single. He probably has the same attitude towards a subpoena, eviction notice, etc. If I ignore a valid legal document addressed to me, they can't take action if I don't respond or just start claiming it's illegal and wave my hand. Completely ignoring the fact that if the legal document is valid, the contact information is correct, and it was received by a recipient or someone allowed to accept on their behalf, then it becomes a no-show and therefore a win for the other side. Not the asshole. Well done you. He sounds very selfish, and from reading your last post, it appears he doesn't care about anything but his own wants. In your shoes, I'd be writing dumped selfish asshole on the calendar. Don't give him an inch going forward. Legal route all the way for custody and child support. Don't allow any room for maneuvering and grandstanding. You don't want your child to be waiting at the window while he dips off to see the child out of town deliberately and without notice. If he comes back full of fake contrition, don't believe a word of it. He lied, deceived, outmaneuvered, and betrayed you. This isn't a case of I win from his perspective, it's a case of I don't give a stuff about you. As long as I get what I want, that is all that matters. And our next post is titled, Am I the asshole for not using my inheritance money to help my brother and his family out? Hello, this is my first time posting on Am I the Asshole, and English is not my first language, so sorry if the format is not right. Background. Me, 19 female, and my brother, 32 male, became orphans 10 years ago due to an accident our parents were in. My parents had always been a bit paranoid when it came to their mortality, so they had a set plan in case they passed. They left a significant amount of money for each of us, and our childhood home was meant to be mine. They specified that we would have access to our share of the will when we turn 18. Since my brother was already old enough, he took his money and cut all contact with me. I had lived with my grandparents ever since, but last year, I finally got my share. I decided to move into the house and use the money to pay for my studies. I'm in first year of medicine, and it is very expensive. I have estimated that when I finish medicine in 5 years, I will have a lot of money left to continue with what I want to specialize in and have some money left. My grandparents know my plan and offered to help me with my living expenses so my inheritance become exclusive for my studies until I finish. I accepted, and we've been like this for a year. Now to the issue. My brother and his wife have 3 children from ages 9, 7, and 4. My brother spent his inheritance money on a house, his wedding, cars, and expensive stuff that one doesn't really need to live. My sister-in-law is a stay-at-home mom, so he was the breadwinner. My brother recently lost his job, so now their family is struggling and they need a place to stay. He contacted me and asked for us to meet up. When I arrived, he and his wife were already sat down at the restaurant. Long story short, he said that since they were going through hard times, they expected me to hand them over my house and give them a share of my inheritance so they can get back on my feet. I got pissed off, since we have barely talked or visited each other since the accident, and they were just demanding me to pay for them. I told them that I wouldn't because I already have a plan for the money and I was living in the house. They said I could move back in with my grandparents and blew off at me for being selfish. After arguing, I decided to leave, but now my cousins are saying I'm an inconsiderate asshole and I should help family out. I really need to know if I'm in the wrong. So, am I the asshole? I would like to add that the main reason I'm questioning my decision is because there is children involved, his kids, and I don't want to hurt them. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I may be the asshole because we are all family after all, and they really need my help right now. Now in the comments, not the asshole. He squandered his money, he will squander yours too, then you will both be broke. Be responsible with your money, because at least one of you will be financially solvent. Not to mention the fact that OP's parents died, entire world turned upside down, at 9 years old, and then the brother leaves as well. Now said brother is calling OP a selfish asshole? Wow. You're not the asshole, OP. Tell your cousins to offer their homes instead if they actually care that much. Not the asshole. Also, like, your brother should have downsized by selling off the few expensive things that he has left to get some money rather than imposing on you. Honestly, the audacity. Not the asshole. Girl, you shouldn't even be here. He cut contact with you and now expects your help. No way. I'm begging you to not hand over a cent. He sounds like the type to be given a step, then suddenly take a mile. You owe him nothing. His family is not your responsibility in the slightest. Do not allow him to guilt you. Biologically you're related, but they are not family, and your brother made that decision a long time ago. People love burning bridges, not realizing they'll regret it. And OP replies, thank you. I'm confused as to why he cut contact in the first place, but it's been a decade and I wonder if this will help me build a relationship with him. It will not. As soon as the money's gone, he will be too. He sounds like a person I wouldn't want a relationship with. Entitled and manipulative at best, but I understand at the end of the day he is your brother, and being cut off by your only tie to your parents must have been hard, especially if you were close growing up. Right now might not be the best time to trust him in building a genuine relationship with you, as he is clearly not above guilt-tripping and insulting you to get what he wants. Give it time and watch his next move. If your relationship with him is worse off now that you have denied him your monetary value compared to when you weren't even in his life, that speaks enough volumes about who he is and how far he will drag you down with him. And OP replies, "You were right. This isn't a situation I should try to base our relationship on. Not the asshole. Now go get those degrees." And OP says, "Thank you. It will take a lot of time and money, so I can't really afford to pay him. Besides, if I give him money, I'll have to find another job, and it's not the best option with my career choice. If you can find a job, then so can your brother." And now on to the update. A lot has happened since my post, so I'll be updating here. I first told my grandparents everything that happened, and they're supporting me. I told my cousins that were sending me messages to help my brother themselves, and they got angrier, so I blocked them. I then invited my brother and his wife to eat, and offered them to let them rent 3 rooms in my house. They asked if it was free, and I said no, but it would not be expensive. They kept insisting on me handing over my property, so I decided to leave. I had a conversation with my brother, and turns out you were right. He doesn't want a relationship with me. To be honest, I'm completely heartbroken and angry because I thought things would change. After that conversation, I decided this time I would be the one cutting contact, and my grandparents did too. I don't know if things are definitely finished now, but I surely hope so. Thanks to everyone for the judgment and advice. Now in the comments, you know what? This may be a blessing in disguise, since he has left no question about his nature and made it very easy to see that he has nothing good to add to your life. Came here to say this also. It's lucky that he has revealed his intentions so clearly so quickly before you lost or suffered even more. You can now move on knowing that you have absolutely made the right decision, as painful as it may be. No may about it. Reading this, I was so glad they didn't come up with a rental agreement. Once you have someone living in your home, it is often very difficult to evict them from a legal standpoint. If he is already demanding OP's property, my bet is he'd move his family in, treat the home like he owned it, and entrench himself. Good luck with everything. It hurts to be treated this way by someone that should be close, but it's better to know than be taken advantage of. Maybe share that information, that he doesn't want a relationship with you, with the cousins, and see if that changes their mind. Maybe they would do huge favors for someone that treats them like garbage. I'm just thinking that's not the case. I am so sorry to hear that your brother was just using you to access the house and your money. Going no contact is definitely the best way to go here. I personally think that them moving into your house would have been disastrous for you. My first thought was you coming home from school one day and finding all of your belongings in the front yard with the locks changed. Stay strong, and good luck on your medical degree.